feeling like a bit of a failure with it all.
right?
Yeah.
But feeling like a failure is an old familiar feeling to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quite
And
inside me.
you want to get good at it, which means you're judging that you're not good at it.
Mm.
Okay. And the right way to get good at it is to have the right skill. And the right skill is to develop the right skill. And when you're saying it's not good enough, that's not developing the right skill. That's developing the same old wrong skill. All right. And so the whole point about learning to be satisfied is to see those thoughts. I want better. This is not good enough. Oh, poor me. Oh, look at it. I was doing it and now I can't do it. Or right now I'm not doing it. Okay. That we were raised in our society as being, let us say, problem solvers, to find the troubles and to fix them. Now, that's going to work for building a database or writing software or uh, building a network and all kinds of things. But with the mind, it's kind of different. That in fact, the mind is much more like playing a piano than the piano repairman. We got to get out of the mode of being the piano repairman and in the mode of the musician. Okay? The piano repairman wants to find everything wrong with the piano so that he can fix it. But if he's going to play, and I've had that. I mean, my whole life was 7 years of it was playing the piano, and occasionally, generally it was once a year. I don't remember what time of year, but Mom would plan on it so that when the piano would need tuning because of the weather would change, and then the piano would go out of tune, and then the piano repairman would come. And he would check every note to see if it's striking well, what notes are dull, which notes are off key, etc., like that. And one of the things weird about a piano is that the bass has only one string per note. The middle section has two strings per note, and the high part of the piano has three strings per note. And so the hammers are a bit different, the way they wear. Because if you've got hammers that hit bass notes, then you've got one indentation, and that indentation can be big, long, broad, and deep.
Mm.
So changing the felts on the keys. Now, I'm going through all of this because I want to let you know that that's the kind of practice that you're doing, and you never make music when you're trying to repair the piano. The point is that the piano repairman, after he tuned the piano, then he would sit down and play some piece that he had known, kind of to impress the student, that he knows what he's doing, and then he gets up and he walks away. All right?
Mm.
Leaving the student now to actually practice on the well-tuned piano. All
Mm-hmm.
right. So this is in fact what we need for you to start doing is to stop trying to tune your mind and start playing music with it. So one of the important ways of doing this, Goenka had it nailed solidly when he said, when the mind wanders away from the breath, never mind, start again. Well, see, when your mind wanders away from the breath, our mind wanders away into unwholesome thoughts, what do? You say, oh, I want to improve. Oh, I want to make this better. Oh, I'm not satisfied. And that's a whole bunch of unwholesome thoughts. That's like finding a note that doesn't sound good on the piano and taking a hammer to it. You're not improving things. You're making it worse.
Mm.
So what we have to do is to come to that conclusion of never mind, start again. That what you just did was marvelous. It was wonderful. Aha, I see the mind wandered away. Aha, I see that unwholesome thought. And then you can deal with it. This is back to the Eightfold Noble Path of remembering to look. Well, you did. You remembered to look, and then you hated it. Instead of taking the right effort to fix it.
Yeah. And often I remember, like often I'm aware, I can see things that are going on, but there's a sense of disgust,
Yeah.
which
You
I
don't
was,
like it.
which I is a natural thing, but
It's not natural, it's normal.
Normal.
It's a normal thing that you do. The difference between natural and normal is that normal means that everybody does it. It's the way that's the standard. It's the way that you were taught, etc., like that. And if you weren't ever taught to be normal, then you would have remained natural. That in fact, our human society does a very, very interesting job of screwing up nature.
Yeah. Well, I was reading something by Ajahn Amaro, and he was talking about there is a built-in kind of shame mechanism. I don't know. It has a certain
It was
name.
not built in so much as it was installed as a plug-in.
But I think he was talking about it as a something that was like beneficial, and there are these statues outside the temple at Amravati, which you might know.
It can be if you
Yeah.
can see it, and it is
Yeah.
not if you just let it run rampant.
Yeah. I do have it in this book. I don't know what. Hiri and Otapa.
Harry and Opata.
Yeah.
Otapa? Oh, I'd
Otapa.
put P's in it. Otapa.
Yeah.
All
Otapa.
right.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, I know about that.
Yeah.
Shame and disgust. This is not what we're talking about. That's out in behavior in the world of screwing up. In fact, what you're doing is you're just sitting quietly and screwing up
Yeah.
and hating yourself for it, to where there's nobody to be shy to. And in fact, you haven't really done any damage, but you're about to. So, in fact, if you want to apply the shame and the guilt, which is what Harry and Otapa mean, is to apply it to the fact that you don't like it when you caught yourself messing up. Okay? So the mind wandered away. So what? That happens all the time. I don't like it, and now you got two problems. And in fact, the second problem is the big one.
Yeah.
Because that led you to call me saying that you don't like it and you want to have improvement. Well, the way to have improvement is to start telling yourself, I'm improving. Wow, I don't do that so often anymore. Start having wholesome thoughts about your thoughts.
So it's like that is the original sin, maybe. I don't like it. And that's
I don't like it. That's the original sin.
It's the trick.
That's in fact the position of Adam and Eve. We can tell you that story a little bit. You know that have I told you that story yet?
I think you have, yeah. I think you have.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So eating of the fruit of good and evil is the whole point is that you're judging your mind. Rather than just fixing it, you're judging it. And that's what you're doing is you're destroying your own paradise that's already there. And you've been in the process of destroying the paradise every time you see something that you don't like. Instead of saying, wait a minute, I'm really glad that I saw the mind wander away. That shows me the nature of the mind, and it shows me also that I can bring it back on track. I can train the mind. And in fact, having those thoughts and saying that is the training. The training is that, oh, yeah, I can see that. It is not going to bother me. I can still feel happy. I can still feel contented. But you can choose instead to see something and not like it and then hate it, instead of seeing it as it is and making change. This is a very simple process, but you have to check, is this thought wholesome or not?
Yeah.
And the thought that you're having is, oh, I don't like it when the mind wanders away. That's a really unwholesome thought.
Mm. So the
But a
change
wholesome,
is,
go ahead.
I mean, what is, can you go into the change? Like very, in the moment, say, let's say I'm about to, do something I hate, and I start doing it anyway. But so I'm doing it for like a minute. Let's say I'm on my phone and where I should be, I'm procrastinating. Let's just say I'm procrastinating. And I'm in it for a minute and then I start hating it. And I start, hating that I'm hating it. And I get in that. And then let's say I change, I change this whole process around, I flip it around and I come out of it after maybe 2 minutes. Um, so what would that look like? At that moment, you just go,
Well, it
I don't
could
need to do
look
this.
like, aha, I see that. This is, in fact, the statement of the Buddha that he used when he was going through that 6 week period in Bodh Gaya, where he figured out Paticca Samuppada. You could say, in fact, that the statement about Paticca Samuppada is when you say, aha, I see that. And in this case, aha, I see that unwholesome thought. But by saying, aha, I see it, that thought is wholesome. Aha, I see you is a very wholesome thought. Have you ever played tag or hide and go seek?
Mm.
All right. So something is out there hiding from you, your own thoughts. And when you are out looking, you look all over the place and they're trying to hide from you. But how do you feel when you catch them, when you find out where they're hiding?
Yeah, quite good.
Yeah, aha, I see you. All right. So that's exactly what we're going to develop is aha, I see that which has been hidden from me before,
Okay.
which is the unwholesome thoughts. Like
Yeah.
the unwholesome thought of, I don't like it when the mind wanders away. That's the thought that hides from you.
And what's the realization like? Because to put it in words, what would the realization be? Is the realization just that
Would be,
I,
aha, I see you.
is that
Just
it?
like, yeah, well, what would you say if you were in the game of hide and go seek and you were seeking somebody and you found them? What do
Yeah.
you say?
I found you. Yeah. But
Yeah.
what if it's something that you find something, but you don't think it's important enough to, or you just kind of ignore it, which I find I do.
Yeah, that's right. You
I just
don't
ignore
take the
it.
right effort
Yeah.
because you want to make it easy and ignore it rather than taking the right effort to
Yeah.
make a change.
I think that's a thing that I notice in myself a lot.
Hmm. So that's what you do. That's it. Make
Yeah.
that change. Aha, I see you.
Mm.
And in some versions of the game, there's a home base, and that the one who is hiding is trying to get to the home base before the one who catches them. But in other versions, just seeing it is enough to finish that section of the game. Aha, I see you.
Okay.
That makes it over. If you can stay with aha, I see you and congratulate yourself and feel really good that you can see those unwholesome thoughts, you've already started making an effort because
Yeah.
the old effort was to try to ignore it, pretend it's not there. In fact, it's not really ignoring, and maybe the word ignorance can apply. But really, what's going on is that you're deluding yourself. You're lying to yourself, saying it's not important. You're telling
Yeah.
yourself a lie because you don't want to figure out that you've done something wrong. You try to make it
Mm.
trivial.
Yeah. Well, I'm also scared of, coming to a realization that I have deeply kind of messed up or something, that
Right.
I've,
Okay. Now you change your attitude and start practicing that you are happy when you can see yourself screw up rather than feeling miserable.
yeah, so celebrating and being,
Celebrate it. Celebrate when you make a mistake. That's the only way that you're ever going to stop making mistakes, is
Okay.
by celebrating them and recognizing them for what they are, because otherwise we're going to ignore them. We're going to be deluded about their power. We're going to lie to ourselves about it. That's the habit that people are in. So instead of ignoring it, we got to take the effort. Aha, I caught you. I'm actually out there looking for you. And I see you. That's what the Anapanasati practice is really all about, is to remember to look. And when you see it, when you see that thought's unwholesome, say, got ya. Aha, I caught you. I caught you, Mr. Unwholesome Thought.
Yeah.
And then, with that kind of change, the next part of the change is easy enough, and that would be never mind, start again. You see, when Goenka uses that phrase, never mind, he's talking about never minding the hating that the mind wander away, but to go back and to start again. And with that is also, it's not just taking a deep breath and knowing that you're taking a deep breath, but you're also talking to yourself about, wow, I'm glad I caught that. I'm glad I caught the mind wandering away into unwholesomeness. That I can feel safe. I can feel secure. I do feel safe. I do feel secure. I do feel comfortable. And I do feel satisfied. Because before, when you caught the mind wandering away into unwholesome, what did you do? You became dissatisfied with it. I want to improve. I want to get better.
Mm.
And so actually what you're doing is repeating old bad habits, making them even stronger.
Yeah.
So that, and people do this and then they get frustrated with meditation and quit.
Mm.
They begin to see who they are and they hate it, rather than seeing who they are and say, wow, I'm really glad I can see that. Now I
Yeah.
can change it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm just processing.
All right, well, process this. You don't like it, and it's time to change your not liking into liking. You have some control over the way you feel. Take control of this one. To stop disliking, stop the not liking, start being happy and liking.
Yeah. And even
You're in
when
a
I'm doing something.
big habit. You're in a big habit of not liking stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And even when I'm doing something that's like, I think is really bad, like I've got an assignment and I'm just not doing it, or, even when I'm doing that, it's just, um, the only thing to do is to maybe celebrate, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, to celebrate.
Yeah.
Precisely so.
Celebrate as you see it, or as you are
As you
aware of.
catch it, as you absolutely recognize that this is an unwholesome thought. Like, for instance, with this one, all the butt hurts, oh, poor me, in opposed to, hey, let's give the butt a rest. You see, the difference is subtle. One is an, oh, no, I don't like it, and the other one is a nurturing parent. Stop being critical of yourself and start nurturing yourself.
Yeah. Nurturing is a
Aha.
good word. Nurturing for
Pardon?
me nurturing is a word that makes me understand this.
Mm-hmm. Nurture yourself, because you've been critical of yourself, oh, for so how long?
Yeah. It's honestly insane. It's almost like, and I can see it happening just slightly retrospectively, like just after I'm doing it, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like insanity.
Well, now it's time to start practicing.
Yeah,
Yeah, practice
definitely.
well. Aha, I see you, and then you can change it. And then you can change it into statements like, everything's all right. Wow, I'm glad I saw that. Wow, I'm not afraid anymore of making mistakes because I want to see the mistakes.
Damn.
I'm not afraid of making mistakes anymore. I'm not ashamed of making mistakes. I don't feel guilty about making mistakes.
Yeah. Wait, so what you said, I want to see the mistakes. I like that. That's good.
Yeah, you want to see the mistakes. And so when you see it, you can say, hot dog, I caught you. Very much like that game of hide and go seek. You really like it when you catch somebody hiding from you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because I'm kind of mistaking all these thoughts as myself. I'm afraid to see them because I think I am
Because that
this
makes
whole
you
thing.
less, right?
Yeah.
So that we can talk about it like that in the sense of that means that you're selfish about hiding. You don't want to see yourself. You certainly don't want other people seeing you as making a mistake. That's, by the way, the hairy part.
The hairy part.
Yeah, the hairy part. Hairy and otapa.
Oh, oh, the hairy. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
think you were saying hairy, hairy.
yeah. Well, that's the whole point is that it gets hairy when you get shy.
Oh yeah,
Because when you're shy, you don't want it to be seen.
yeah.
And
I had
here
the
we're going to be
realization.
very happy to see it.
Yeah. No, I realized last week that often I'm not honest. You know, in a not that I tell lies to people, but that I'm not honest about, you know, what I'm feeling and what I do.
Hmm.
You know, I do want people to see me as, more hardworking and like,
Hmm.
you know,
Well, you can imagine, in fact, that someone is in the computer room and somebody else called the repair technician. And the repair technician comes in, and all of a sudden, you don't want him to repair it. You want to show him the stuff that works and the stuff that don't work because you're proud
so
of the stuff that works.
I'm writing that down. That is funny. Uh,
So stop
that
seeing
is
yourself
that is
as the.
really a good analogy. I want to say
Uh-huh.
that it's like really good because it's kind of demonstrates the humor in all of this. The comedy.
Uh-huh. Yeah. The
That's funny.
actuality is that all that wrongdoing and all that mistaken thought and all that unwholesomeness does not ever belong to you, and it never did. It was always learned behavior. You picked that stuff up when you were a child, and you're mimicking other people who picked it up when they were a child. Who knows how many generations back this stuff goes? But one thing about it is you didn't invent it, it's not yours.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm living with my parents right now, and I'm becoming more aware of like, I've been copying them basically. It's
Yeah.
very obvious.
It's very obvious once you start looking at it, but we don't want to look at it because we already have the mistaken opinion. Oh, it's mine, and I don't want them to see it. Where in fact, no, it's theirs. But
Yeah.
really, it's not theirs, but that's where you got it. You got it
Yeah.
from them. And you'll
Yeah.
pass it on to your kids unless you can find a way of accepting it so that you can see it. And now you have an opportunity to change it. This is where the right effort comes in, is to actually change that which now you're willing to see. Before you weren't willing to see it, hard to change.
Mm. So is Harry is that
HARI, I think, instead
yeah
of
yeah
HARY.
yeah yeah. Is that I don't know. Is that something to avoid, or is that are they talking about that in the sense of a kind of beneficial shame, or is that a shame that happens naturally?
Well, it
Normal.
is beneficial when you can see it, and it is unwholesome when you're ignorant of it, or you can't see it, or you're hiding from it. Okay?
Yeah.
The
Okay.
shame that you
Yeah.
feel is
Yeah.
going to be there if you actually get caught at it. Well, nobody's going to be able to catch what you're doing in your mind except for you.
So
So when you,
shame is never something that you want to encourage. You know, it's because I've heard, you know, therapists tell me in the past, like, or one therapist told me, you know, that shame is, you know, a good thing, or the guilt is a good thing.
well, generally the shame that people feel is misguided.
Mm,
They feel shame because of something somebody else told them. Oh, you should do it like that. Like, for instance, the kid
yeah,
is ashamed to get caught at not doing their homework,
yeah,
but they're not going to do it anyway.
yeah,
They just don't want to get caught.
yeah.
But if you can see, oh, if I don't do my homework, I will feel ashamed, then we're more likely to do the homework, huh?
I think he was also saying in terms of um comparing yourself to a psychopath who wouldn't feel guilt after doing something, you know, that would normally provoke guilt within a person. Let's say they steal something and they don't feel guilt. He was saying, you know, well,
Well,
you
that
know,
would be a psychopath.
right, yeah.
Okay,
So
is
in a
someone
sense,
who refuses to see the guilt and the shame and the stuff is
yeah,
the psychopathic position, and we all are a little bit psychopathic.
mm,
So,
yes,
and the psychotherapist, when he says "Thou shalt not feel shame," is probably missing a couple of links in there, and I'm trying to fill those steps in for you so
mm,
that you don't feel shame. You feel pleased that you can, in fact, catch the stuff that you're doing wrong, because only then do you have a chance or an option to make a change, to
mm,
fix it. But so long as you feel guilty or feel shame, but you're hiding from it and you don't want anybody, including yourself, to see it because you don't want to feel shame, let's put it to our advantage instead by recognizing it's wrongdoing, but I can happily fix it. I don't have to feel shame. In fact, that's possibly what you've already been doing anyway, is that you were ashamed to have the mind having unwholesome thoughts. That's why you call me. Is because you wanted to improve. You wanted to make things better. You didn't like what was going on. But didn't like what's going on is referenced as shame. The feeling of shame is a feeling we don't like.
yeah,
But in fact, when you don't like it, can you wake up to that and say, aha, my mind wandered away and I didn't like it? Can I see that I became ashamed of it? Because that shame is why we hide stuff. We don't want other people to see it. We don't want twice shame. The twice shame, the first shame is I see it myself. Let me go hide it so other people don't see it too. That's the twice shame.
yeah. It's
All
like
right.
this.
Well,
It's the
then,
second
go
arrow,
ahead.
right? It's something like
Huh?
that. The second arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The second arrow. The first arrow is that we did wrong. The second arrow is that we stab ourselves because we caught ourselves doing wrong. And then we hide both arrows because we don't want to
Yes.
feel ashamed, a third arrow, by having other people catch us.
Ooh. Oh man, there's a third arrow. There is indeed.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
So, so all we really need to do then is when we see that first arrow, we can say, aha, I see you. That way it has no sting.
Mm.
Aha, I see you. And then you have the option of making a change to it. Never mind, start again. Never mind, come back to the wholesome. Never mind, get some value out of your practice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never mind, build the skill.
Yeah.
Actually practice. Going back to the music, when the child is playing the piano and they're learning a simple piece, they haven't gotten. In fact, one of the reasons why they practice scales and fingering and chords is so that they can use those skills in real music.
Mm.
So if the child then is practicing that scale or practicing music and he makes a mistake and he feels bad, the likelihood is he'll get up from the piano and not practice. because he doesn't like the mistake that he made.
Yeah, that is me.
Mm-hmm.
With music specifically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's exactly
We don't like making mistakes. We feel ashamed of them. Rather than saying, hey, let me slow this down and practice it and getting it correctly over and over and over again, and then I can speed it up and not make the mistake. But if we quit because we made a mistake,
Yeah.
then we're not going to improve. The way to improve is to say, aha, I see you. Let's practice again. Never mind, start again. Bring the mind back to the wholesome and practice being in a wholesome state. Then you're practicing being in a wholesome state and you'll make another mistake.
Yeah.
Okay, I see that mistake too. Let's go over that again. Let's practice it correctly.
And this state of awareness, is this cultivated through meditation as well? To be able to
Well,
kind of keep seeing
all
this?
right. Here's the various things, the various skills that we're developing and the various qualities to it. One is we're developing the skill of right effort so that we can fix things easily.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're also developing the skill of seeing because before we only half saw it because if we saw it completely, we would be ashamed of it. So now that we give ourselves permission to actually change what we find wrong, we can see what's wrong easier. By practicing that, we also are developing the skill of sati, which means that now we can remember to look at it more completely so that we can make a change of it and all that new process, no shame. Because now we're giving ourselves permission to see what's wrong and fix it, as opposed to seeing what's wrong and hide it. Kids sometimes when they break a toy, they'll hide the toy. They'll put it away so that nobody knows that they broke their toy.
Yeah.
Guess what? That way they don't get a new one. But if you're very happy to show mom, look, I tore the arms off of my little soldier here, she may in fact get some glue out and glue the soldier's arm back on for you.
I don't think my mom would do that, but
Well,
we're
you
trying.
need to start doing that for yourself now.
Yeah.
Now it's time for you to nurture yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
That, yeah, more than likely your mom would fuss at you because you tore the arm off your soldier.
Mm.
Right? So that's what you do. You picked up her habit.
Mm.
And so now it's time to change that habit, to start nurturing yourself. And that's the benefit of the skills, of changing that unwholesome thought of, oh, you screwed that up. You tore the arm off your soldier into, hey, let's fix that. Let's change it. Let's add some happy little glue to that thing, stick it back on again, and never mind, we're good to go. You start to nurture yourself, to be happy that you found your screw ups, because only then can you happily change them. Aha, I see you. Aha, I see that soldier in this case. I see that broken arm on that soldier. Aha, I see it. Now we can do something about it. Like we can play happily with the soldier with the broken arm.
Mm.
We can be happy at what we're doing if you change that attitude. So the attitude that the old attitude is, oh no, I shouldn't get caught. I might get fussed at if I get caught. So I got to make sure that I don't get caught. And one of the ways of not getting caught is by nobody seeing it, not even me. And now we're changing that around to, oh, I'm really glad that I can see it. I'm glad I caught it. And now I can do something about it. And when you do something about it, then where's the shame? The shame is having it broken and can't do anything or don't do anything about it or hide it. There's the shame. But when you see what's wrong and you fix it, now you've got a little bit of pride.
Yeah.
Healthy pride.
Healthy pride.
Healthy pride. Just like you're really happy when you catch somebody who is hiding from you
Yeah.
and you feel good. Allow yourself to feel good about seeing what you did bad.
There are sometimes, well, there's a pattern of being ashamed of having that healthy pride because I think it's bad pride, and maybe it's some
Oh, now you're getting downright Christian on me again.
Yeah. Well, I live in England. I live
Yeah,
in South England, Southern
right.
England.
All right. So
I have a church, like there's a church.
there's the thing
10
called
miles away from me.
false pride as opposed to real pride.
Yeah.
Accomplishment, the feeling of being a winner, the feeling of I can do that, the feeling of, look, I just did it. That's really healthy pride. And if you continue that way, you'll be like the Buddha, who was known as a lion. Wow, if there's anybody in history that's really, really a good example of healthy pride, that's the Buddha. Because he knew that he knew it.
Mm.
That's also called confidence.
Yeah. Also, a pack of lions is called a pride, isn't it?
Well, the fall or the pride that cometh before a fall is the false pride of saying that I can do it when you can't, and then when it's time to do it, you fail.
Yeah. Yeah. I have
So we
had
have
that.
to practice doing it. We have to practice taking that right effort to change the mind from an unwholesome state of, oh no, I screwed up. The mind wandered away into, wow, I'm really glad I caught it. Now we can come back and start again. Take a deep breath, say, I feel safe. I screwed up, but I feel safe. I feel
Mm.
secure. I screwed up, but I feel secure.
Mm.
I feel comfortable. I screwed up, but I feel comfortable.
Mm.
I'm satisfied. I screwed up, but I still feel satisfied
Mm.
because I'm actually practicing feeling satisfied rather than feeling like I got to hide my screw up. We fix it.
Mm.
This is not hard. This is
Yeah.
not rocket science.
It isn't. Yeah.
But it's exactly opposite of the way that we've been doing things our whole lives.
Yeah. What makes it feel difficult? Well, because I have thoughts about
Because it happens so often, it feels like an insurmountable problem, but the only real one is the one that happened just now. Just right now. And if we can
yeah.
fix this one right now, then we can fix the next one right now. It's like
Yeah.
the child is learning to play the piano,
Yeah.
and he keeps missing the same passage
It
over and
feels
over and over again. But if
with,
he practices,
sorry, with being in the present, with being in the present moment, it feels a bit easier to deal with what just happened
just what
than
happened.
anticipating what is happening like right now, and kind of like following right now. It feels
Right.
easier to go kind
Never
of
mind how many
just.
screw ups in the future. Never mind about them because right now, if you fix it, you're developing the skills to fix them too. And pretty soon, you're really good at fixing those screw ups.
Hmm.
You
Yeah,
develop the
no,
skill.
but like, what do you think about let's say you know, I'm trying to be in the present and I'm looking around and I'm being very, trying to be very Eckhart Tolle, and I'm just like kind of.
Well, that's great. No problem.
That's
And then
good.
the mind will wander away into the past or wander
Yeah,
away out someplace or wander away into something that you don't like and all of that.
yeah.
Can you be there for that and say, aha, I see that thought, and then come back into the present?
But I was thinking just then. I mean, what if a slightly better way of being kind of following everything exactly in the moment is to like be just um be aware of be aware of what just happened. So like in the very close past. Do you know what I mean? So
Yes, I do, exactly. That's what I'm trying to point out to you, is right here, right now, in the last 2, 3 seconds.
yeah. So the moment is not, or encapsulates what has just happened, like trails. If you think of like trails, smoke,
Hmm?
the present isn't just like this hand going like, but it's also the trails. So like this movement in itself, as opposed to just like every single kind of, if you think of pixels,
All
you know,
right, all right.
it's not just the kind of exact moment like a pinprick. It's like the gesture.
But a thought takes a certain amount of time, and we're talking about the encapsulation of,
Yeah,
aha, I felt guilty, or I felt ashamed
yeah.
because the mind wandered away,
Mm,
and I
mm,
could see that, and I can
yeah.
say, aha.
I'm just saying this also because I feel that sometimes if I'm trying to be very present, that will take too
Don't
much
try to be
attention.
very present.
Yeah,
Don't try to be very present.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
not the
Yeah,
point. The point
uh,
is to remember to look at what's happening and then make a change to it. Being very present is probably that idea from you know, new agey or
yeah,
whatever like that,
like,
that's, you know, the more present you are.
yeah,
No, screw that. Just be present enough to be able to see it.
yeah. Okay, good. That's what I was suspecting because in the past, I've tried to walk around and just be like, you know, in a weird. It's being weird about it. It's being kind of obsessive about being present. It's like
Mhm.
one, just it's almost like you're pretending to be present.
Right, exactly. Trying to prove that you've got something. And in fact, the right way to practice is, aha, I see that I'm trying to be present.
Yeah.
Let me stop trying to be present and enjoy being present instead.
Mm. But there is a state of mind which is, in a sense, present. There is a state of mind that is kind of following.
No, stay with the state of mind of, aha, I see that.
Okay.
Aha, I caught it.
So it's like a sense of discovery.
Yeah, a sense of discovery,
Yeah, that's
a
good.
sense of hide and go seek and finding stuff. Aha, I see that.
Mm.
Because only then can you make a change to it.
Discovery is another good word.
Hmm.
Yeah, because
So we're
it that
back then to the
leading somewhere.
discoveries are made through investigation.
Mm.
Hmm.
Sherlock Holmes.
So wake up means to remember to investigate. Remember to go on to that discovery mode. Remember to look at what you're thinking. Only then can you make a change to the wholesome.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Discovery. Discovery and nurturing. I think those. I could get those tattoos maybe. But those are good
Will you
words.
go practice that for a couple of days and
Yeah,
then come back and we'll continue further?
yeah. I'm going
So
to
you go play with
Amaravati.
this.
I'm going to Amaravati tonight
Good.
to stay for a few days.
How many days?
2, not long. I don't really have much time
Okay.
to
We'll
just.
spend the time there and then come back and report to me about this
Yeah,
idea. I mean, because you can go to Amaravati and you can find everything hunky dory, or you can go to Amaravati and start nitpicking every little thing.
yeah, exactly.
And that's what you're good at. You're good at nitpicking. So catch your nitpicking,
Mm.
discover your nitpicking.
Yeah, allow it maybe, and allow it. Allow it to
Well, don't
exist.
hate it,
Don't hate it.
but
Yeah, yeah,
change it.
yeah. Um, accept it. Is that a good word? Accept it or
No, use the word change.
change?
Change.
Change it. Okay.
Right effort.
Yeah.
Change it. Okay. But be happy and
Okay.
nurturing in the change. It's like this. Okay. Here's another example. Mommy has a baby and she puts it in diapers. And when she checks the kid and it finds out that the diaper is dirty, does she slap the kid?
Hopefully not.
Or does she happily change the diaper and clean him up?
Mm.
Okay, so learn to change your own diapers. Learn to be happy, and you don't want to just leave the kid with a dirty diaper. You want to be able to catch the kid with a dirty diaper and then change it, clean
Yeah,
him up.
yeah, yeah. So if you
So
only
use that as an example. What would you do with a dirty
yeah,
diaper? You going
yeah,
to ignore it?
yeah, yeah. Because if you only accepted it, if you're just only thinking about accepting it, then it wouldn't get changed, you know, in the
It would
baby.
get changed. Exactly. Don't accept it, but change it happily.
Change it happily. Okay.
Now the outside world you can't change much. There's
Yeah.
where the acceptance comes in, is because what we're really changing is that we don't like the outside world. You can't change the outside world, but what you can do is change your own attitude about it. I see that I hate the outside world, just like I see the crap that of my own mind. But when I see the crap in my own mind, I can change that crap. And when I see the outside world's crap, I can also say, look, I don't like the outside world. That's the dirty diaper, is not liking the outside world. I'm not going to accept the outside world and leave it with the dirty diaper. I'm going to give the world my own new,
Mm,
clean
mm,
diaper.
mm. And when we're in aha, I see you, when we see something, do we say
Hmm.
that, or is it just more like aha, I see you is more of like a symbol for how we should
It
feel?
can be very fast. It does not have to be wordy. It can just be, I see it.
Yeah.
Aha would be enough.
Yeah.
Ah would be enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if it's happy then you can make a change. Again, nurture yourself, just like a mommy would nurture her baby. Not slap it or kick it around, not leave the diaper dirty,
Yeah.
but happily change the diaper.
Yeah. Maybe I need to read about the Eightfold Noble Path or something
No,
like
you don't need to read any books. You need to read the book between your ears. That's where the dirty diaper comes from. Is your own
that.
thoughts. You're
Okay.
taking your own crap. See that you're you. And in fact, there's one of the new words that I'm using when we're talking to students about perception is the phrase of "you made that shit up." That's where the dirty diaper comes from. The dirty diaper, the shit in the dirty diaper
Yeah.
is made up. You made that shit up.
Yeah.
So now it's time to change that diaper because all the crap that's in that diaper is the crap you invented. You made it up. How did you make it up? With critical thoughts.
Yeah.
That it wasn't good enough. That's the unwholesome thought. Things are not good. And you can change that. That's the dirty diaper. You can change it into thought of I can handle that. There's no problem here. There's no worries. Everything's going to be all right.
Mm.
Not because everything is all right, dirty diaper and all, but everything is all right because I can change diapers.
Yeah. But let's say you're really cold and then it's like okay, well, I can change that, but then it gets really, really cold and there's an
You
ice
need
age.
to don't ask so many questions. You're really getting yourself confused. See all of those questions as way too much and just
Yeah.
recognize, oh, I'm asking too many questions. Let me just take a deep breath. Take the right
I
effort.
yeah.
Everything is all right. Can you
I do a
say
lot of
everything is all right?
hypothetical scenarios of like what the
Right.
worst
Get
possible.
out of the yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
because in fact, that's hypercritical instead. So start nurturing. Now is a good time to do it. I feel good. Everything is all right now. Don't try to figure it out. Start to practice.
Mm.
Everything is all right now. Start practicing that. That's the changing of the diaper.
Yeah, change. I think the changing is better because sometimes, you know, I can accept things too much and maybe not change anything, and I just try and become like subservient to what's happening instead of like,
Become the lion instead.
yeah.
Get that Sama Sankappa going. Get your attitude up. I can do it.
What's Sama Sankappa? That's just like the kind of confidence.
That's the on the Eightfold Noble Path. It goes along with Ditti, right view, Sama area Ditti, okay, right noble view, Sama area Samadhi, right noble remembering to look, Sama area Vici, to change, and then Sama Sankappa is to acknowledge the change, to congratulate yourself, to nourish yourself, and then to congratulate yourself for nourishing yourself.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You go practice that.
Yeah. I just needed a simple one today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
You do this over and over again, you won't have any big problems anymore. Every one of them is little.
it's hard to come up with questions for you because I know what the answer's going to be.
Never mind. Start again. That's the answer.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Thank you very, very,
Okay.
very much.
All right. We'll see you soon, Freddie.
I'll see you soon. Thank you very much. Bye.